Hey, this is Isaiah Nelson. This is something I would like to call a minute of your time. Now, real quick, the motivation behind this piece is me and my wife went to a drum circle. In this drum circle, all of us lost somebody that was near and dear to us. And it was this one lady, she was getting frustrated because she said people was telling her how she needed to get past her grief. She needed to just move on. And she was frustrated because she said, why would she let it go? She invested so much in her grief. And I agree with her. Listen, people try to take away your job, your time, your pride, your spouse, your kids. Never let somebody take away the investment that you put towards grief. Again, when it comes to grief, never let somebody tell you how or when you should invest, because it's the only way you and your loved one that passed away can connect, because it's not like you can connect with them in the flesh. So it's the only way you feel like your loved one is still here and you feel somewhat blessed. Let me give you these examples next. Kevin Durant. From what I heard, he wears number 35 on his jersey because that's the age of his high school coach when he passed away, when his soul laid at rest. So actually, his investment that he put towards grief, he wears it on his chest. And that's the beautiful thing about investing towards your grief, is that it gives you a reminder. It helps you reminisce. It helps you reflect. It helps you realize that there's something else out there, that there's somewhat of a connection. Another example is my mother. Every Mother's Day, she grieved over her mother, which is my grandmother. Now, my grandmother passed away years ago. I was 18 or 19 years old when she passed away. I'm 33 now. That's not the point. The point of it is on that day, that is how my mother, whether it's good memories, bad memories, reflection, lessons, blessings, challenges, whatever, that is how she connect. Every time somebody is sad and depressed about their loved one passing away, that does not mean they're in a turmoil state, like it's just a big emergency. And let me give you this information. Now, I don't know the medical terms. I'm not big on that. But do you realize when you cry and you let out them tears, that's a pain reliever and it's getting the toxins out of your body? And from a spiritual standpoint, just like I mentioned before, it helps you reflect. Sometimes you need to be mad, depressed, sad, frustrated, angry, happy, thinking about the memories. Sometimes you need that. One lady was telling me, oh, no, I don't cry when the holidays come around because thinking about my son that deceased, because I can't let it get to me like that. Listen, let me say it like this. Just because you're not crying, that doesn't mean that you're strong and you're not going to lose in defeat. And just because you cry, that doesn't mean that you're weak. Again, when you're crying, that means actually all the pain that you are feeling, you're letting it be released. Let me say that again without this fancy rhyming. Just because you are not crying, it does not mean that you're strong. It means actually you're hiding stuff in, you're bottling it in. And just because you're crying, it doesn't mean that you're weak. Just because you may not be crying, it doesn't mean that you're bottling it in. Maybe you grieve in your head. Maybe in the mental state of mind, you do cry. We have to stop going off what we see. That's the ego state of mind. We have to go off of how we feel, how the person feels. A wise man said you have a right to have opinions and flaws. Through opinions, you search for the facts. With the flaws, you try to get better. So again, start asking people things, how they feel, and stop judging from the outside. And if you're the one that's grieving over a lost one, again, never let someone tell you how you should invest when it comes to your grief. This is Isaiah Nelson, a minute of your time. Thank you for listening.
What's my purpose? What's my purpose?
Hey, yo, that's deep, man. We trying to find our purpose, trying to be better than
Now let me talk to you. Let me do some spoken word for you.